friends. Now it's back to our classical chart, and in this week at number 10...
Oh, damnation.
Hi, how are you? It's me. Mum? You all right? Mum? Thought you looked bored?
What's this?
It's called paperwork. Take your time. Some of the concepts might be a little bit strange to you. If you need any help, I'll be in the next room.
I'm on visits. I could get a call any minute.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know when you're required to go out and save lives. In the meantime, that stuff's 3 weeks overdue.
Mac, are you on call? Because we've got Mrs. Harris on the phone. I think you better have a word with her, but I'm warning you, it sounds rather strange.
Hey ho.
Dr. McGuire?
Hello.
Can you come in?
Thanks.
She's in here.
Mrs. Kirkwood, good morning. This is Dr. McGuire.
Mum, the doctor's here. Do you want to speak to him?
No.
See what I mean?
Mrs. Kirkwood, it's me again. Are you feeling all right?
Fine, thank you.
And would you like to come out and talk to me?
No.
Right. You better tell me the whole story.
Do you want some tea?
Have you looked at all the options?
You mean home help?
Oh, home help, Meals on Wheels.
Alarm buttons, respite care, people coming into your house every day. I've been through it so many times I know it off by heart. It's impossible. We've got social workers round here 3 times trying to persuade her that she can't stay here anymore. Dr. Thompson, well, she's been into the surgery. She's her doctor. I mean, she's been great, really helpful. Been through everything, the options, the funding. It makes no difference. You see, my mum likes things just as they are. And who can blame her? I mean, she gets me round twice a day. She gets her washing delivered to her door and her favourite lunch cooked for her. Lasagna. She never gets sick of it.
Look, if she's managing okay on her own...
Oh, that's just it. She'll tell you that everything's fine. The last few months has been a nightmare. Arthritis is getting really bad. I mean, I give her 3 different tablets every day, but it doesn't seem to be helping. She can hardly walk. And then since the fall, she's been
Fall?
really...
What fall?
Well, it was a couple of months ago this summer. I came round to find her lying on the kitchen floor. Of course, Mum insisted she just tripped and I just happened to walk in on her. But I felt her hands, they were stone cold. God knows how long she'd been lying there. That's when me and David decided that things just couldn't go on.
David?
Oh, he's my husband. Well, he started looking into things and he found a few residential homes that seemed okay, but she refused point blank. She's just a stubborn old lady. I mean, she won't let anyone else into the house, won't consider moving. It can't go on like this. Truth is, she just can't cope anymore. I mean, everyone agrees.
Who is everyone?
Social services. Well, we had the OT round last week. I mean, she could hardly get out her chair. I mean, everything's with Dr. Thompson. The social workers are just waiting for the report to come through. I mean, it's been weeks now. And if they don't meet this deadline, it's going to be months and months before they look at it again. Of course, I tried to talk to Mum about it again last night, and now this. I'm sorry to call you out like this, but I didn't know what else to do.
Look, I'm sure Dr. Thompson will do the report as quickly as possible. Would you like me to try and talk to Deirdre?
Oh, please, if you think it could help.
Well...
Oh, Helen, you wouldn't mind signing these for me, would you? They're Mac's. They've got to go out today.
So where is your errant husband?
Oh, he's on call. It seems like some granny has locked herself in a toilet.
Anyone I know?
Deirdre Kirkwood.
Oh, I should have known. Darling Deirdre.
Is she one of yours?
I was supposed to be doing a report on her for the social worker, but I've forgotten about it until now. No rest for the wicked.
Tap.
Helen?
And it seems I've been especially badly behaved today.
To be frank with you, Mrs. Kirkwood, I feel a bit silly sitting out here. Look, can't we discuss this outside, somewhere a bit more comfortable? Your daughter called me because she's worried about you. She's chewing the carpet out here. Talking to yourself is supposed to be the first sign of madness.
Well, I suppose you ought to know.
Sorry?
I said, you ought to know. As if you really are a doctor and not just another one of David's little helpers.
I'm trying to sort this out.
Oh, I bet you are. That's what they all say. Coming around here and snooping about the place without a by your leave. We're just trying to help Deirdre, make things easier for you. Oh, and it's Mrs. Kirkwood, by the way. Before you start with the Deirdre this and Deirdre that. You know, I had some young girl round here last week. Can't remember what she called herself, OT something.
Occupational therapist. They need to know whether you're capable of looking after yourself. Cooking, making tea, that sort of thing.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, she was just the same. Can you manage that all right, Deirdre? Is that okay with you, Deirdre? She can't have been more than 19 years old. Australian girl. They treat you like you're some kind of a child. Well, I won't have it. Anyway, I don't know what you're doing sitting out there. I'm sure my daughter's told you the whole story.
I'd still like to hear it from you.
Oh, would you? Well, it's quite simple. Once upon a time, there was an old lady who became too much trouble for her poor family. They didn't know what to do with her. And one day, her wicked son-in-law had a wonderful idea. Why not put her in an old people's home? And you could sell her expensive house and live happily ever after, the end.
Is that what you think?
It's not what I think, it's what I know. You have to admit it's not a very original story.
Jane tells it a bit differently. She says you've been falling.
Once. I fell once. Then my daughter marches in here, gets herself into a tizzy, drags me down to casualty, where I spend 3 hours waiting in a trolley while some teenager organises an X-ray. By the time I got home, I'm in a worse state than before. Then, of course, before you know it, the world and his wife is round here wearing concerned faces, and yours truly is being shunted off to Stalag Dun Roman.
Jane thinks you can't manage. Especially as you won't let anyone come in to help. Perhaps if you had a look at the places she's suggesting. Oh,
I found this lovely retirement home. The people are very nice. You'll have plenty of company. It never occurred to anyone that I do not want to be surrounded by confused pensioners who pass the time by urinating in the lino. This is my home. I like it here. I like the fact that I live on my own. I like the fact that Jane still comes round to see me. What do you suppose would happen if I went into one of those places? A visit now and then, back for 3 days at Christmas if I was lucky.
So you're just going to stay in there, are you?
Why not? At least someone's listening for a change. Perhaps the newspapers will take it up. I'll become a cause célèbre. That toilet woman. With a bit of luck, I might end up in Midlands today. Sorry, am I boring you?
I'll be back. I need to talk to your daughter again.
Well, I'll be waiting here.
I haven't made a lot of progress.
Maybe we should call Dr. Thompson.
I don't think that'd help much at the moment. She seems to be very, dug in.
You haven't met my mum before, have you?
No, and I would have remembered, believe me. She's got a lot to say for herself. She thinks you just want to stick her in a home and forget about her.
It doesn't matter how many times I tell her, it's just... Oh, that'll be David. Excuse me.
Hi. David Harris.
Brendan Maguire.
Understand we've got ourselves a bit of a situation. Jane called me at work and explained things. So is she coming out?
Not at the moment, no.
But you have talked to her, try and make her see sense.
Oh, I'll get that.
I'm actually glad you're here. Has Jane told you what's been happening?
She has said that there's been a bit of a problem, yeah.
Well, you could say that. No, I'm pleased to say that everything finally seems to be sorting itself out. And as soon as Dr. Thompson puts in a report, we should start putting the wheels in motion. Of course, nothing's happened yet and the clock's ticking.
You're talking about a residential home?
Yeah, well, it's the best place really, isn't it? I mean, she can't cope here on her own. Jane's rushed off her feet trying to look after her and the kids. She's only able to work part-time as it is. And then, of course, there's this house.
Ah, yes, yes. Deirdre did mention something about that.
Let me guess, the old wicked son-in-law story, eh? That I'm only doing this to try and steal her assets. Well, that's not new, I promise you. Yeah, we might have had our financial difficulties, but then who doesn't? I'm hardly going to run off with all the silver, for what it's worth. No, to tell you the truth, we have never exactly seen eye to eye. And that suits her fine. See, Jane's the saint, I'm the bad guy, pure psychology. Makes the whole thing much easier for her. But then you've talked with her, you know what she's like. She's eccentric. Always has been.
She seems to know exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that she's not sharp. Her mind's all there, it's just that she's got the wrong idea, that's all. The wrong end of the stick, as it were.
David, that was the school. I told them I'm not coming in.
Again? Right then, so what's the plan? Break the door down?
I really don't
A joke,
think...
just a joke.
Why don't I have another go, eh? Before we do anything drastic?
Yeah.
Huh?
Was the office okay about you coming here?
Well, they had to be, hadn't they?
Mrs. Kirkwood, can I talk to you?
Is David with you? I heard him come in.
They're in the kitchen.
So what's he been saying to you? That I'm a crazy old woman who should be locked away. Or maybe he's been offering you a share in the profits. If I were you, I'd get it in writing.
Your daughter is very worried about you. Everybody wants you to come out and talk about this. I can't help you if you stay in there. Look, please come out and then maybe I can start looking at things. Look, Mrs. Kirkwood, I've been giving the whole situation a lot of thought. Look, supposing I go back and check the records. I could talk to Dr. Thompson, see if we can arrange something. Or talk to the social worker. I promise I won't let them move you. Not until I'm satisfied.
And I'm the Queen of Sheba.
I am the senior partner. No one can do anything without my say-so, and if I take over the case, it'll all be down to me. I won't let them move you. You have my word.
Look, I'm going to have to go. Do you need the car?
No, I'll stay here for a bit. She's going to be all right?
Well, physically she's fine, but I'm worried about her.
We're all worried.
Look, I want to be certain we're doing the right thing. Your mother feels very strongly about staying here.
But that's just not possible.
No, maybe not, but I promised her I'd look into it. Look, I'm going to ask Dr. Thompson to try to delay the report until things are clearer.
Well, how much clearer does it have to be? I mean, my mother-in-law locks herself in the toilet for 3 hours. Now you're telling me that you're going to have to start looking into things?
Look, I know you think that a residential home is the best place for her. I want to make sure that we've looked at all the options.
And just what do you think we've been doing for the last 3 months? Sitting in our hands. We have been through all of this. Now you're saying that you want to start again?
I'm saying I want to be sure.
I don't believe this.
Look, I'll talk to Dr. Thompson as soon as I get back to the surgery, and I'll call the social worker today. Now, you're going to be here if I need to contact you.
Yeah.
Good. Sorry. Yeah. No, that's okay. I'm not far away. I'll be there as soon as. OK, bye. Sorry, gotta go. I'll call.
Have you got my number, Doctor?
Yep.
So how's the redoubtable Mrs. Kirkwood? I heard all about it. She actually locked herself in.
3 hours. Took some persuading.
Sounds like Deirdre. But you got it sorted out?
Yep, eventually.
Well, she spurred me into action. I've done the report. Finished it this morning.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Medical, occupational therapist, social worker. Signed, sealed and delivered.
So you happy with the family?
Sure. You met them, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
So what's on your mind?
Well, this whole business. Are you sure we're doing the right thing?
With regard to what?
We're placing Deirdre, the residential home. She's dead against it, you know.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, well, this is different. I mean, how old is she? 70?
71.
Ah, and sharp as a razor.
I'm not going to argue about that.
Yeah.
But she can hardly walk. Didn't Jane tell you about the falls?
She fell once.
To our knowledge, if she'd let us help her, it'd be a different story. She could have a home help, a living carer even. It could all be sorted out. But she refuses to let anyone else in the house. The bottom line is she's just not safe, not on her own.
And all that's in this report, is it?
That's in the report.
What do you think of the family?
They're fine. Jane's tried everything, but she can't be there 24 hours a day. She'd like to be, but she just can't do it.
What about the husband? He seems a bit...
No, I know what you're going to say. David's... Well, I know how he comes across, but he's just worried. You know Jane's a teacher.
Yeah?
Well, she teaches special needs, but she's basically given up because her mother's become a full-time job.
And now he is worried about money.
He's just worried about Jane. It's as simple as that.
Oh, yuck.
What?
It's cold. Helen, I'd like to delay this report.
Why? I've told you everything there is to know.
No, you tell me about the rest of the family, why they think they can't cope with it, but they're not the patient.
So what do you suggest?
I'd like to take a look at it myself.
You still think David's after the house?
Well, don't say you haven't seen it before.
Do you know how many times he's been in over the last month?
No.
4 times. He's been to see me 4 times to try and get this sorted out. He's worried out of his mind. Now, does that sound to you like the behaviour of a con artist? Anyway, no one can actually physically move her against her will. You've said yourself she's competent, so if she decides to stay put, that's what she'll do. All we're doing is giving an opinion, a medical opinion.
Oh, come on. You really believe that? That she can just say no with the massed ranks of the caring professions against her? I'm surprised she's lasted this long. She needs someone to try and see her side.
So you don't think I'm acting in her best interests?
I'm not sure.
Well, I am. I really can't believe you're doing this. This is my case. I've been involved since the start, and you're holding my medical report in your hand. This whole thing's been delayed long enough, and if you delay it further, you're basically questioning my professional judgment.
I am the senior partner.
Well, in that case, let's hope your boundless experience allows you to avoid the mistakes I've so clearly been making.
Oh. No, I just wanted to check. Yes, right. Well, I'll get back to you. Yeah, thanks, bye.
Got Helen to do those letters, but you need to get these done.
Fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just been talking to the social worker.
Well, do you think you could do those today?
I'll do my best.
Right.
I suppose you know why I'm here?
Let's talk in my room. Have a seat.
So has Dr. McGuire discussed things with you?
After a fashion.
In that case, can you tell me what's going on? I mean, yesterday everything was getting sorted out. Then McGuire turns up at the house and suddenly we're back to square one.
Please take a seat. Look, it's not that bad. Dr. McGuire just wants to go through the notes to make sure we're making the right decision.
Yeah. But like I said to him, we've been through all of that with you. So you now tell me that it's been a total waste of time? And that I should have been speaking with your boss all along? I mean, I take it he is your boss.
Not exactly, no. Let's just say we've had a professional difference of opinion.
Yeah? And in the meantime, what? I suppose I just carry on as normal?
Look, I know this seems like a setback, but I'm sure we can work it out. Just give me a couple of days to try and get things back on track.
Yeah. I seem to have heard that before. Look, no matter what my mother-in-law says, I'm not the bad guy here. Jane can't cope anymore. Something I thought that we had agreed on. Do you know that Jane would be around at our house every minute of the day if I gave her the chance?
I know. Just give me a couple of days. I promise it won't take long.
Yeah, all right.
You know I did those letters for you. Well, I need to call in my marker.
This is going to be expensive.
Mac and I had a discussion earlier about a case.
Let me guess. In this case, discussion means argument?
Oh, you could say that. It's Mrs. Kirkwood.
The toilet woman. Thought she'd been successfully released back into the wild.
Well, that's not the problem. He's delaying the report. The woman's just not safe at home. I've been working with the family for the past 3 months. The social worker's been involved. All the assessments have been completed.
So it's all systems go?
Well, it was until Matt decided to stick his nose in. If that report gets delayed further, the whole process could get put back months.
Yeah, well, look, I really don't think I should be getting involved.
He's making a mistake, Kate. I've just had the son-in-law with me. He's livid. The whole relationship could break down. Now, I need you to talk to Mac. Try and make him see sense.
And by sense, you mean your point of view?
I mean sense.
What's up, Doc?
Don't.
What you doing?
Making a big mistake.
I talked to Helen.
I suppose she said the same thing, a big mistake.
Her words exactly.
Yeah, well, I pulled rank.
Oh, I bet that went down well.
It's all there, Kate. It's in the report, the assessments, the falls. There is no way she can stay where she is.
So Helen was right.
What?
So what's the big problem? You just say you made a mistake and let Helen get on with it.
Yeah, but it's not that simple.
Well, it sounds pretty simple to me.
I promised Deirdre that I wouldn't let them move her.
Before you read the report?
I had to do something.
Oh, Mac.
She'd locked herself in. What was the alternative? Kick the blooming door in?
How long are you going to be?
What?
With the Harrises? Because I know you're about to go round there and sort this out.
Huh? Hello? Hello, is any... Mrs. Kirkwood? Mrs. Kirkwood, are you all right? Are you all right? Mrs. Kirkwood?
I'm absolutely fine.
Any pain? Do you hurt anywhere?
I said I was fine, didn't I? Now, if you could just help me up.
Do you remember what happened?
Of course I do. I've told Jane 1,000 times about this carpet, but does she listen? Now, could you please just help me up? I'm not doing this for the good of my health.
Yes, of course. Come on, up you come.
Mum?
That's it.
Mum, are you all right?
Yes, of course I am. Give Dr. McGuire a hand.
There we go.
Oh, that's it.
I was coming to see you. The back door was open.
Oh, you're going to have to do something about this carpet. There's no way I can stay on here with a carpet in this state. I think David could take a look at it. He could come round tomorrow morning and have a look.
Sorry, were you coming to see me?
Yes, I talked to Dr. Thompson. We've decided to submit the original report.
Meaning?
Meaning, I think you should go into a home.
What kind of a doctor are you? You made me a promise.
Yes, I know. It's not that simple.
Oh, isn't it? You know they're in financial trouble, don't you? That's why they want rid of me, so they can get hold of this house. David spent all his money buying that timeshare, and now they can't even afford the flights to go out there.
Oh, thanks for the vote of confidence, Mum. David sold that place months ago and we're okay now. Listen, do you really think we would do this just to get rid of a few debts?
I don't know.
Well, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have to do this unless we really had to. It's hard for me too.
Oh.
Look, I know you don't think so now, but it's the right thing to do. I know it is.
Can I come in?
As senior partner, I suppose you can do what you like.
I turned up at Deirdre Kirkwood's to find her lying on the floor. Well, luckily her daughter arrived about the same time and we were able to get her up.
Little old ladies can be deceptively heavy.
Yeah. Anyway, I've handed in your medical report.
My report?
Well, they close at 4:30. I got there just in time.
Thanks.
It's okay. And look, about all this senior partner stuff.
Forget about it. I'm just glad everything's sorted out.
You sure?
Forgotten.
Good. Right, well, I better be off. Kate's cooking. Do you need a lift anywhere?
I've got a car.
Yes, of course you have. Yes, good car. Lovely colour. Right. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.